Just imagine standing face to face with the people who shaped history with their own hands, one final time. These last photos capture the moment before the world changed forever. Captured on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel, Martin Luther King Jr. greets supporters just moments before he was fatally shot by James Earl Ray. A grim final photo shows Che Guevara being captured by Bolivian forces on October 9, 1967. He would be executed the very same day. Al Capone is seen with his wife May and their children in Miami in 1947. A month later, he died of complications from syphilis, mentally diminished by the disease. Muhammad Ali's final photo, captured on FaceTime with his daughter, shows him quiet and frail. He died days later from septic shock at age 74. In one of his last photos, a weakened Steve Jobs walks outside his Palo Alto home. He passed away weeks later after battling pancreatic cancer. The last known photo of Winston Churchill shows him seated in an armchair at his London home. Churchill passed away on January 24, 1965, at the age of 90, after suffering a severe stroke. Princess Diana was photographed inside a Mercedes-Benz, minutes before the crash in Paris that claimed her life, Dodi Fayed's and their drivers. A last image shows Baroness Margaret Thatcher at a summer lunch, smiling but frail. She died months later on April 8, 2013, after a stroke. JFK's last photo shows him smiling in a motorcade in Dallas moments before he was tragically assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald on November 22, 1963. One of the last images of Albert Einstein shows him weak yet thoughtful. He died days later in Princeton from an abdominal aortic aneurysm. Second photo is his workplace left untouched. In his final moments, Mahatma Gandhi was captured moving through a crowd before being fatally shot 3 times by Nathuram Godse in New Delhi. Pele's daughter shared a final photo of the soccer legend fighting for life in hospital. Pele died on December 29, 2022, after a long battle with cancer. The last known photo of Ronald Reagan shows the former president frail from Alzheimer's disease. He passed away on June 5, 2004, at the age of 93. One of the last photos of Ernest Hemingway shows him sitting inside of his Idaho home. Days later, he died by suicide at the age of 61. Rare images from Walt Disney's last family trip to British Columbia in July 1966 show him smiling warmly. He passed away later that December. One of the last images of Charles Manson shows him in prison. He passed away a few months later from complications after being hospitalized. This somber head and shoulders portrait is traditionally known as the last photo of Abraham Lincoln, taken from life before his assassination. In his last known photo, Salvador Dalí appears sick and wheelchair-bound at his residence in Figueres, Spain. He died of heart failure on January 23, 1989, at age 84. 6 months before his death, a frail Nelson Mandela was photographed at home with South African President Jacob Zuma. Mandela died on December 5, 2013. In one of his final photos, Nikola Tesla sits alone at the New Yorker hotel, frail and forgotten. He died of coronary thrombosis shortly after. In his final known photo, Bob Ross appears visibly thin, yet warm and smiling. He died later that year from complications related to lymphoma. Amelia Earhart's last photo shows her beside her Electra plane in Lae, Papua New Guinea. ready for her final flight before mysteriously vanishing. One of the final images of Adolf Hitler shows him surveying the bombed ruins of Berlin shortly before his death by suicide in his bunker. Kim Jong-il was last photographed visiting a Pyongyang supermarket on December 14, 2011. He died 3 days later of a heart attack at age 69. Krista McAuliffe's final photo captures her smiling as she prepares to board the Challenger. She died minutes later when the shuttle exploded on launch. A touching final photo of Robin Williams shows him smiling with his pet monkey. He died by suicide on August 11, 2014, after battling Lewy body dementia. The last photo of legendary lawman Wyatt Earp, taken shortly before his death on January 13, 1929, shows him aged but still proud in Los Angeles. After winning the California primary, Robert F. Kennedy was shot at the Ambassador Hotel. This haunting photo shows him lying wounded in the kitchen. Marilyn Monroe's final photo shows her smiling beside Buddy Greco at Cal Neva Lodge. Bruce Lee's final known photo was taken during a promotional event in Hong Kong, just days before his sudden death at age 32. One of the last photos of Richard Nixon shows the former U.S. president walking with assistants. He died from a stroke on April 22, 1994, at age 81. The last photo of Hachiko shows the faithful dog near Shibuya Station. He waited for his deceased owner every day until his own death in March 1935. Stephen Hawking was last seen out with friends in London's Mayfair before Christmas, 2017. He passed away peacefully on March 14, 2018, at age 76. In these final images, Chairman Mao appears gravely ill during a political meeting. He passed away shortly afterward in September 1976. Alfred Hitchcock was photographed announcing his knighthood shortly before his death on April 29, 1980, from renal failure. Queen Elizabeth II was photographed standing with a cane at Balmoral Castle, just 2 days before she peacefully passed away at age 96. One of Joe DiMaggio's final images shows him throwing a ceremonial pitch, looking frail. He died soon after from complications of lung cancer. One of the final photos of philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche shows him physically broken and mentally incapacitated after years of illness. He died in 1900. This haunting image captures the last queen of Mongolia before her execution during Stalin's purges in 1938, marking a tragic end to the monarchy. Elvis Presley's last photo shows him driving through Graceland's gates early on August 16, 1977. Hours later, the king of rock and roll was found dead. The final photo of Andre the Giant, taken in Paris, shows him solemn during a family visit. He died days later from congestive heart failure. A melancholic Ulysses S. Grant was photographed writing his memoirs in New York, battling cancer. He died shortly after on July 23, 1885. In his final known photo, Mark Twain is seated outdoors, surrounded by friends. He passed away on April 21, 1910, from a heart attack shortly after Halley's Comet's return, just as he had famously predicted. Audrey Hepburn's last photo shows her peacefully smiling at her Swiss home. She died soon after from a rare abdominal cancer. Franklin D. Roosevelt was captured looking weary on April 11, 1945. The next day, he suffered a fatal stroke while resting in Warm Springs. Anne Frank's last known photo was taken in 1942. She later died from typhus in early March 1945 at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, aged just 15. In her final appearance, Tammy Faye Bakker spoke bravely during a Larry King interview. She passed away 2 days later from cancer at age 65. Archduke Franz Ferdinand's last photo shows him moments before his assassination in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, an event that triggered World War I. The final known photo of RMS Titanic shows the ship leaving Queenstown, Ireland. Days later, on April 15, 1912, it sank after striking an iceberg. A final photo of Vladimir Lenin shows him in Gorky after a debilitating stroke left him mute. He died on January 21, 1924, from complications of syphilis. Pablo Picasso's last well-known self-portrait Facing Death, was completed less than a year before he died, on April 8, 1973, at age 91. One of the last photos of Charlie Chaplin shows him sitting in a wheelchair with his wife, Una. He died peacefully in his sleep on Christmas Day. Photographed moments before his fatal crash at Imola, Ayrton Senna sat focused in his race car. He died after hitting a wall at high speed. Buffalo Bill Cody's last photograph, taken outside his doctor's office in Colorado, captures the Wild West legend just 7 days before his death from kidney failure. The last known photo of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, shows him being driven near Windsor Castle. He died peacefully on April 9, 2021, aged 99. A last photo captures Will Rogers smiling during a flight with Wiley Post across Alaska. Both men died soon after in a plane crash on August 15, 1935.